today, this is lesson 3 in chapter 4. What we are going to do today is we are going to divide by a 1-digit number, okay? Now, on page, you don't have to open right now, but on page 72 in your book, it points out all of these different things. This out here is your divisor, the number outside the house, okay? Now, if we had this written as 6,500 divided by 8, this is still the divisor, okay? It's still the same problem. This is just written this way. This is with the house.
So the same thing like yesterday, or like last time we did math?
We are not rounding.
Oh, we're
There's
not.
no estimating in this.
Oh.
We're straight dividing, okay? This is your dividend. So is this, okay? And what goes up here?
Answer.
And what goes here? What is it called?
Quotient.
Quotient.
Oh.
In division, the answer is a quotient. Multiplication is called the product. Division, it's a quotient, okay? Those are your 3 words that you're gonna have today. That you're gonna have to come up with the definitions, okay? In your blue binder. Now, in dividing, this is not that hard, but you're gonna run into a lot of places where you can make mistakes, and this is where you have to make sure that you're putting numbers and lining everything up. As long as you line everything up, you're gonna be fine, okay? First thing that you're gonna do is you're gonna look at the 8. The 8 is gonna be divided into all of this. Now, 8 goes into 6. Does it? No. So if I say 0 times 8 is 0, multiply that, subtract, I still get 6, right? Bringing down the 5. Now I'm gonna go into 65. 8 goes into 65.
8 times.
8 times. 8 times 8 is 64. Subtract, I have 1 left over. Now I go to the next digit, bring that down.
Wow.
Now I'm dividing 8 into 10. How many 8s are in 10, Giada? Kellen?
1.
1. 1 times 8 is 8. Subtract. I get 2 left over. I still have another digit up here. I have to bring that all the way down. Now I'm dividing 8 into 20.
8 times 2.
2. 2 times 8 is 16. Subtract. I got 4. Oh, I got no more numbers to bring down, do I? Okay. So this, whatever this is, that is your remainder. That's what's left over. In this case, they have crayons that they're putting this many crayons into a box that has 8 colors to it. Okay? How many boxes can they fill? How many boxes did they fill? We just did the work. Sasha, we did the work for Marvin. How many boxes did we fill for Marvin? No. 812.
Can we have the other one?
What's the 4?
The extras.
That's the extras. They got 4 crayons left over.
Remainder.
Could they put them in another box? Yeah, they could, but it wouldn't fill the box, would it?
No.
So what they have is 812 full boxes of crayons, and they got 4 that are left over. They might use those the next day when they start again. Okay, but for right now, how many did they fill completely? 812. Okay, yes,
Wouldn't it be 812 with a decimal and then put like a 5? Because you have to put like the, like for a decimal, you have to put like the 0 at the end of the 4.
we're not doing that yet,
Okay, not yet.
not yet.
Yeah.
You would put a decimal and you put a 0, and you bring the 0 down, and you bring the decimal up here too. 8 goes into 40 5 times evenly, so it'd be 0.5.
Aren't there like groups too?
We're gonna do that later.
Okay.
You're working ahead,
Okay.
okay? Let's do another problem.
Number 1.
There's no zeros.
All right, first thing, does 6 go into 4?
No.
No.
I wish.
Now, I could do 6 times 0 and then subtract it and bring it down. Or I could just say, all right, instead of going into 4, does 6 go into 47? Does it?
Yeah.
How many times?
8.
8 would be 48.
I know.
That's too much. 7. 7 times 6 is 42. Right? Subtract. I have 5 left over. Notice how I'm lining it all up. Okay? Now, I gotta bring down the next number. 1. Now, Dante, what was that last one you said?
48.
Yeah. So how many, what would go up here?
8.
8. 8 times 6 is 48. I have 3 left over. Now I'm gonna bring the 6 down.
6 times. Oh. 6 times 6.
6 goes into 36 6 times.
Yeah.
6 times 6 is,
36.
wow, goes in evenly. Is there anything left over?
No.
So if this was crayon boxes, and they had the boxes and they put, no, we're gonna make this, hot dog bun. Or no, hot dogs, cause they got 6 hot dogs in a package.
Wow.
So in one day, the factory, Marvin's factory, we're back with Marvin, we're gonna be with Marvin all day. Marvin has a hot dog factory, in which Sasha's looking at getting a job there. Because Marvin's making mistakes, and she's gonna fix his mistakes, save him money, and also get paid for it, okay? Marvin makes 4,716 hot dogs.
A day?
They put them into packages of 6, okay? Now, this day that they made that many, how many packages did they make? Colton?
786.
786 packages. Did they have any hot dogs left over?
No. Nothing
No.
but sauce left over.
Okay, there were none left over. This is number 1.
I need to get mine.
Not yet. I'm not done. I'm not erasing the board. Okay? I like 6.
I like 6 too.
Marvin now has a Coca-Cola factory.
How many companies does he own?
He owns a lot.
Is he rich?
He's really rich. That's why you wanna work for him. Okay?
We'll work on all the jobs.
Now, at his Coca-Cola factory, in one day, they bottle 2,119 bottles of Coke, okay? And they're the little bottles.
Oh, that's all.
It's not good, no, but we're just using it as an example, okay?
We own this company.
Now, they are the little bottles and they're putting them into the bottle carriers. It's not the aluminum cans.
The plastic?
It's, no, not the plastic ones. They have glass bottles,
Oh, okay.
okay, that they do. And so they are putting them into these glass bottles. They cap them and then they put them into the carrier. Is a carrier is what it is. A cardboard carrier. So in one day, they make this many bottles. They fill them, cap them. They had a problem with the machine. Marvin's got all sorts of problems, all right? This day, he's having a problem with the bottling machine. And they only made this many they only got this many bottles filled, okay? Now we gotta figure out how many 6-packs of these Coca-Cola bottles did they fill? That they can ship out and sell, okay? First thing, 6 goes into 2,
0 times.
0 times.
Try.
6 now goes into 21,
3 times.
huh?
3 times.
3 times. See, this is why Marvin wants you to work for him.
He has a big brain.
You're doing good. So I subtract from 21, I get 3. Then I go to the next number and bring that one down. So now 6 goes into 31.
4 times. No, 5.
5.
Let the woman think.
5 times 6 is 30. There's 1 left over. Now I bring the 9 down. 6 goes into 19.
3 times.
3 times. 3 times 6 is 18. Subtract.
1.
Got 1 left over.
Oh, left over for sausage and drink.
Now, how many of these can he ship out?
350.
353. Could he ship out another one with just 1 in it?
Well,
For sausage.
No. And that's what the remainder is. So if he gets his bottling machine up and going the next day and really cranking them out, then you're gonna end up using that remainder the next day.
Gives me like 1 more minute to fill out that one bottle.
Well, this is really what happens. Mrs. Galley and I are trying to get you to go to a field trip at the very end of, it's in May. We signed up for it. We're hoping that things loosen up to where we can go on a field trip. We booked it, we can cancel it, and it's no cost.
What is it about?
This is going to the Vigo factory in
Yeah.
Tampa.
oh my God.
Over there, they will make packages of rice. They have the rice that's brought in. They filter the rice. If you go to the grocery store and you buy a package of yellow rice,
Oh, I know those.
okay, the yellow Spanish rice,
Yeah.
okay,
I know.
and it has all the different flavors and everything in it. So all that you need is water and some olive oil
I'm all about
and a
that.
pot to boil it in, okay? But they have these packages, and they package the rice up, and it goes along, and you'll see this, it goes along, and then they take so many packages and they put them in a box, okay? And then they box that up, okay? And each box has a certain number of them in it. We're gonna say 30 in there, okay? And so these boxes all have 30 in it. Well, if they have some left over and it's 5 o'clock, it's quitting time, after they've shut down all the equipment and everything, they got 7 left over. That's a remainder of 7. And what they're gonna do is they're gonna leave them there, and that's where they'll pick up the next day. they'll put 23 more in that box and keep going. Okay? That's what these remainders are.
Is the owner of the rice company Marvin?
Yeah.
No, this is the Alessi's. Okay, they have a lot of different things over there, and it's I hope that you guys get to go, because it's a great factory, it's well run, it's clean inside, and when you go in the spice room, where they store all the spices, you will walk out and you will have the smell of the spices on your clothes. It's good smelling too.
I like this one.
Is it salt
Um,
and pepper? Hey, you could smell
Salt and pepper is one spice.
That's blowing spice.
They got a bunch of them.
Salt.
They have the
A little
world's
bit.
most expensive,
Do
which
they
is
have white rice
saffron
with soy sauce?
over there too.
Soy sauce.
Now,
What are you talking to?
let's change things up a minute.
5 digits.
I do know what
No, wanna change it.
Changing time.
How are we gonna do this one?
Wait, I forgot how to explain it.
Anybody wanna guess? How are we gonna do this one?
Can we do can you make it so you put the 6 out of the house and then you put that, the big number in there?
You got it. You're gonna write this like these are written. Okay? This is your divisor, like we have over here. And this is also the divisor. Okay? So we're gonna put 6 outside my nice little house.
Worth it.
Okay? And we're gonna put the 5,273 inside the house.
No. You thinking about the space?
Now, 6 goes into 5, no times. 6 goes into 52, 8 times, which is 48. 8 times 6 is 48. Subtract, I have 4. What's my next thing that I do? Jackson?
You bring the 7 down?
Bring the 7 down. Now, 6 goes into 47. Well, we figured this out, that 8 times 6 is 48. That's too much, so go down 1 would be 7. 7 times 6 is 42. Subtract. And I get 5. Am I done?
No.
What do I gotta do now, Lauren? Bring down the 3. 6 goes into 53. Oh my gosh. Josh? 8 times. 8 times 6 is 48. 9 times 6, 54. Oh, that's too much. So I gotta go to 8. And I'm back at 48. Subtract. Got 5. What do I do now? Colton? Because that's left over. I don't have any more numbers at this point to add on, to bring down, so that's just what's left over.
So if your answer was 0, would you put the R? Or would you not?
No, over, where would, here we got a 0. You could put 0, remainder 0 if you wanted to, that's not wrong, okay? But if you don't put it up, if it is 0, you don't have to put it there. Now, if there is a number, you need to put it there.
Yes.
okay? And that's a good question. All right?
Mhm.
Let me give you some hints.
Okay.
Numbers.
16 and 26.
Thank you, Mr.
You're welcome. I've done 3 of your problems for you.
Okay.
Now, in 1, 2, and 3, they've got a whole lot of it filled out for you. You just gotta fill in numbers. Now, with these problems, I need everything written out. So I don't want you, Lucas, okay? I don't want you going number 1, 7, 8, 6. Number 2, 134,
That would be the
remainder,
problem.
whatever. I want the problem written out. So I don't want 2 written down until you've got this. Here's number 1. Number 2 goes here on your paper. Now, if you do like Josh does, you can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then on that same page, you can start with 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then possibly get 3 in on one sheet going down.
I can write small. I just have to
Use
write
columns,
down.
okay?
I like columns than ones.
Make sure
They're all lines.
that they're lined up.
You don't like putting numbers.
No, because if you don't have them lined up,
It gets complicated.
it gets real complicated. And I know that you guys ask in here, can I use graph paper? Graph paper is acceptable. Use it. You got lines going across, you got lines coming down,
Whew.
okay?
Where?
So go ahead and use it, okay? Now, you've got 1 to 35,
That's a lot of numbers.
and you've got quite a bit of time.
Okay.
So I want you working, okay? The only other thing you have to do is lesson 3 in your blue binder, and you have 3 words. Now that I have one up here,
Divisors, remainder. Oh wait, no.
dividend.
Dividend, divisor, quotient.
Now, if you look at the top of page 72, up here in the yellow, those are the 3 words. Now, in your blue binder, you do not have room to write them. You are supposed to have a sheet of paper. And you just start a running list of all of them.
Yeah.
So you should have 3 more. Okay, Jackson?